Hey, it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk. You know, casemate TDs are not very flexible, and there are some maps that are not very friendly to them. Trying to figure out how to react to the flow of battle in a casemate TD takes a little bit of doing. In a lot of cases, it requires you to be wily. So we're going to call this one Be Wily. I've loaded in my SU-122-44 onto Siegfried line. Now it does help that it's a relatively maneuverable and speedy TD, being a premium tier 7 Russian. So that does help. If you're in a slower TD, sometimes being wily is a little bit less about movement and a little bit more about where you position. So initially with TD, I like to come up here and I am watching that bulldog, because if something tries to get down onto the road on their side and tuck up under there, I want to punish them as they're coming across. But pretty quickly, I see that he would have spotted anything that was going to be there early. So I'll move up to this tree. This is a pretty standard TD spot right here. I see this guy, nice light, and unfortunately just miss him. And I will immediately back up because I'm not sure if that 4502 is going to see me. The bush is okay camo, or the tree, not the bush, but it is easy to see through. I'll switch to gold because I'm facing the 4502. I'm not going to waste a shot right now because none of these are really going to pen. I'm sort of hoping that it'll switch and give me a bit of a side shot. And I see the T95 moving in. I'm also checking right to make sure that nothing comes into the field, because if you get somebody around this bunker here, there's some trees here. Even if the scout gets tucked up under here, sometimes I can be seen. Addition, if I take a shot and I light up, then they've got shots on my side. You can see that the draw distance goes all the way out to here. Unfortunately, in this game, I did not notice that super Pershing moving across. So I'll take a shot, probably going to be spotted. Absolutely. So in that spot with a TD, or any tank for that matter, shooting and backing up is probably your best bet. And this is where you can get hit in the side. If you notice, the super Pershing is moving up. And there's somebody took a shot in there. All right. Tiger P, looking at his front hull, heavily armored. I'll move up to his turret and roll a 293 out of 390. Painful. Super Pershing dies, and that's a good thing because I had low SA on what he was doing. Let's see if I can peek a shot through here. I actually believe that shot hit. Schwarzpanzer moves up. I'll try to get up here and help these guys. There's a prototype. Now, shooting him in the face is probably not going to work, and he looks to be advancing, so I'm hoping he's going to do this and give me a side shot, which he does. A little bit of fire. He's got an automatic fire extinguisher, and I'm lit again, which I expected. And you can see that our WZ has their already busy, at least for the moment. So that probably saved me some already hits. Guy's running, and another shot high, unfortunately. So 0 for 2 on snaps. Now we'll spend a little more time than I would have liked right here staring at this 4502. If the Tiger P came around, I'd have probably had a shot, but it's highly unlikely with a T95 pushing in their face that they're just going to roll around that corner. M12 takes out the Schwarzpanzer. That spot is quite exposed right there, right about in there. So be careful about moving up. It seems like it's a nice protected spot, but it's not. I'm wasting quite a bit of time here. Things are going okay. We're a little bit ahead. And now I'm starting to look over to the left. What do we got going on over there, and can I be more effective somewhere else? So I've spent quite a bit of time there. A couple things came together and helped me not get nuked. The scouts keeping the arty busy, the arty shooting at guys that are spotted there, like the Schwarzpanzer that got hammered, all kept me from getting shot. So I'm going to repo over here and see if I can start working this edge of the battle and help clean this up. Tiger 1 dies. That was my initial target. Thought about going to the middle, but I wouldn't be very effective. Right now, if I rolled into the middle of the town, I would probably get gunned down pretty quick. But I'm seeing quite a few tanks over here in an IS-2. So instead of sitting up on the hill, I'll actually move down. I can see that Type 59 is actually moving into town. So I'm being wily. I've moved from where I was. They knew I was there. Now they don't know where I am. I've gone somewhere else. I will tuck up against this building as close as possible, because my intention is if he comes around that corner, I'm going to shoot him. Then I'm going to back and cut right and put as much of this building between him and I as I can. Just like that. I figured I'd get spotted. I thought he fired at the IS-2, so I believe I have some time to come around, although it is fairly fast reload, and unfortunately, I bounce. He thinks better of all that and starts to back up. So I'm going to hold this corner for a minute. He may want to come around. I'm looking around. Somebody hammered him, so that was good. You'll notice that the object 704 has moved into the field, and he was seen a while ago. My concern is we're going to get flanked from our field side, so I'm going to use this tank's speed. Once again, being wily, they thought I was over there. Now I'm going this way. And I want to take a quick look and try to find the 704 in case he is pushing in. Now I don't have the best spotting in the world, as you can see by the line, but I should be able to see a big old 704 just driving through the field. I'll come back to this spot and see what I can do. Unfortunately, there's an E75. That's going to be tough. I actually back up before I fire because I want to get a little closer to the edge of the hill so I can come back. He takes a shot. Now I'm rolling some dice here with the arty, and he dies. As I cut, then there you go. They were looking at me. So time to go somewhere else. Already knows I've been out in the open there. We're starting to lose a little bit. I'd really like to help this proto. Unfortunately, he dies, so driving straight into two Type 59s is not a great idea. I was hoping they were going to come around this corner, but he continues down the other corridor, and now he's coming around this way. So I'll come around and wait for him to appear. And unfortunately, he's actually behind the second set of buildings. I thought he was coming down that one, and I would have known if I'd have paid closer attention. And when I figured it out, he went by. So now I've just got to do my best to survive against this guy. He's coming right at me, so I should be able to get a shot right here as he comes around the corner. Unfortunately, into his top hole. Okay, and what I do there is ram the front corner of his tank because his tracks are exposed right there. And if I can avoid ramming my tracks into him, I can get him with the sharp edge of my front hole. I have a good chance of tracking him, which is what I do. Now I look to track him again and just ram in there hoping that he will bounce. He doesn't, but the quick reload, I'll be able to take him out. And now it's time to get out of here. There is another Type 59. There goes the 8.8. That's helpful. And these two guys are taking on the IS-2. Already just fired at me. I won't get a shot on him. Just barely missed him. So I've got to get in there and help this IS-2. IS-2 is chasing the 59. And the T-28 is in that little center courtyard. And you saw, because I have that zoom mode, I'm able to lift up and out and look at him and see which way he's pointing. He's pointing away from me, and that thing turns around very slowly. He doesn't know where I am anyway. So I just put a shot right in the back, light him on fire, but he's got an automatic. Now I immediately backed up because I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get reloaded and shoot him in the sprocket before he got turned around. But when I saw I could do it, I stayed there. And additionally, I started backing up immediately on that last one because once again, I didn't know if he had a repair kit. But once I realized he didn't, I came straight in. Okay, being wily. Tracking guys, ramming them in the tracks, keeping them from pointing at you. Doing a little bit of assault TD. I got up next to that building, tried to avoid getting hit by arty. I probably didn't wait quite long enough. If I was a smart arty and had a shot, I may have seen me walk back and forth and then start forward, and I may have still taken a shot in there. Once again, I'm worried about the 704. It's been a long time since he's been seen. I head that way initially and then think, well, you know what, dueling a 704 probably isn't going to help anybody. I'll head off this way. I'm going to go towards their cap on the east side of the map, and if the 704 does jump on cap, then I'll come up on this top hill to my left here and start working the snipe from there. Because the GW hasn't died, I'm relatively confident he hasn't come through the field. What on earth he could be doing, I don't know, but if you look at it, he's not the greatest of players. It's very possible he's still camping, although he could be back at his cap waiting for me to do this. I'm going to to stay as far away from the spotting as possible. This is a bit of an exposed approach right here. I could have dove down next to the lake on my right and stayed low. That would have been another option, which I will do now. A little late for that, but it would have been nice had I done it earlier. Just trying to mask my approach as much as possible. I'll cut right. There's some bushes and trees over here. I'm really hoping just to get a spot before they do. See what we got in here. Looking around, I don't see anything. So let's push in. We got 5 minutes. So if I find the Artie, I'll kill him. If I find the 704, hopefully my Artie can help me out. IS-2 is still trolling around in the town. Sometimes the Artie will sit in this bush right here next to this tree, so I'll just come up and over ready to shoot him if he's there. He's not, and I am not lit from 6th sense. So I will actually just move up and get on the cap. Try to force it. It's not something I normally do, but this is one of those situations where cap pressure is probably going to work. They do have 2 Artie. I come over here. I do not go to that bush, and I'll show you why in just a few seconds here. That is the obvious spot. Any moment now. Boom. So they shoot into there. They know they didn't hit me because it didn't reset the cap. I will click for the IS-2, or I actually told him to look at the field. What I needed him to do is get up into this edge right here and get a little vision out into the field. Now I am waiting. I'll show you what I'm doing with my camera. Because I figure if they come, they're going to come over through that road right there, as opposed to through the tank traps, which is a little more difficult to come through. I also know that if they come, the Artie is going to try to hit me. Now if it's 7-4, that's going to be trouble. I'm just going to have to rely on my Artie being able to take him out. But at this point, because I haven't seen from him, I'm thinking he is either AFK or he is so bad that he's just going to stay out there. Potentially he moved north, was moving towards our cap. I got on the cap and now he turned around. He's just not fast enough to get here. Just trying to be as wily as possible, although it's not very wily telling him where you are. Still, this is how we're going to win this game. Here he is. Boom, now I've got to move. Immediately start to move, and I'm jinking right and left. Cut right, cut left, cut right, and he misses. Just trying to spoil that shot, make it as difficult as possible. It ends up being a win. So ace mastery in the Su-122-44. Fighting a casemate TD, bottom tier, and attempting to be wily as possible, moving around. You don't have to just camp the entire time in a TD, especially if your team needs you. So I hope this helped. If you like what you saw, go ahead and subscribe. And as usual, thanks for coming by. We'll catch you later.